This is Tips, Tricks, and How-To by Gone Researching. This is the first instructional video in a series I'm creating on Family Tree Maker 2017. My hope is this will serve as a visual supplement to the companion guide and the help built into the program. I think everyone should be able to learn something useful regardless of whether you are new to Family Tree Maker 2017, upgrading from an older version, or have been using the program for a while. This is getting started and taking a look around. I just want to point out I'm using Software Mac Kiev Family Tree Maker 2017 Windows version that was released in 2017. I'm on an older laptop that came with Windows 7 but is running Windows 10. Now, there was an update released in February 2018. I'm not using it for two reasons. I haven't had time to install it, and I'm keeping my program the same version as a cousin has while we work on something. For those that are already running the update from February 2018, don't worry, everything here still applies to that release also. In either situation, in order to use the Records Merge feature, you must have the Family Tree Maker 2017 version and be signed into your Family Search account, which is free, or be signed into your Ancestry data subscription to access the record collections on Ancestry, which requires a subscription fee. Now at this point, you should have Family Tree Maker installed and ready to go. But if you're having installation problems, which I'm not really covering here, I suggest you first double check that your computer meets the minimum operating system requirements. Then visit the Software Mac Kiev website, go to Support, Family Tree Maker, use the keyword search or manually scroll for installing Family Tree Maker 2017 support articles. You will often find it in the top 10 most popular articles, or not too far down at this point. So there are two articles, one for Windows and one for Mac. If you need more help than that, use the live chat service to connect with a Software Mac Kiev customer support person. There's also if you're on Facebook, a Family Tree Maker group that you have to join to see what the group site. There is no telephone support for Family Tree Maker. For those who are upgrading from older Family Tree Maker versions, do make sure you follow the instructions and back up your Family Tree files before opening them in Family Tree Maker 2017. There's some support articles regarding this too. Once you open an older version of Family Tree Maker tree file in a newer upgrade version, you cannot open that file with the older Family Tree Maker program. So make sure you do a backup in the older Family Tree Maker program, and once you have opened the tree files in Family Tree Maker 2017, then immediately perform a backup in the Family Tree Maker 2017 version so you have a copy before you start adding, changing, and deleting things in the tree file. Now, speaking of backups, though you can create a backup to your hard drive of your tree file, it is better to save that backup to a larger USB drive or an external hard drive or even the cloud. That is because if you have your backup and your original file on your hard drive and something happens to your hard drive, you'll lose both. You'll potentially lose both copies. So if that backup's on an USB drive or an external drive or in the cloud, you at least have something to start with instead of having to start from scratch. So let's take a look around the Family Tree Maker interface. All the different options and features in Family Tree Maker are organized so that similar things are together, which means for Family Tree Maker there are 7 workspaces. These workspaces are Plan, People, Places, Media, Sources, Publish, and Web Search. I will cover each of these workspaces in separate videos. When your Family Tree Maker program opens, it starts off in the Plan workspace. I'll cover that workspace in the next video. For now, we're just going to focus on understanding this interface. Like many applications, there are often several ways to access and do the same task. At the top of the Family Tree interface are two toolbars. The topmost bar is the Workspaces toolbar, which is considered the main toolbar. It allows you to jump from workspace to workspace quickly. I think of these different workspaces as ways to focus your attention on different aspects of your tree file. At the left end of this toolbar is a way to quickly access your family tree files without returning to the plan space. It's the Select Tree. One use is to open a second tree file in a separate window, allowing you to have two tree files open at the same time, and you don't have to move back to the Tasks workspace or Plans workspace. At the right end of this toolbar are two icons that are quick links to Family Search and Ancestry. They allow you quick access to log in to either service and either to show hints from Family Search or to download or upload a tree from Ancestry. The second toolbar is the Menus toolbar, which is similar to the menu bars in other applications. There are 5 standard menus: File, Edit, View, Tools, and Help. They give access to additional tools and features. In addition, for 5 of the 7 workspaces, a specialized menu for that workspace will appear between the View and Tools menu. As we look at these menus, you will notice that some items are grayed out or unselectable, similar to how in the Workspaces toolbar, the 6 workspaces other than the Plan workspace are grayed out and unselectable. This is because there is no tree file currently open, or sometimes that tool feature is not accessible on a particular workspace. In the File menu, we see a variety of tasks and tools related to your Family Tree Maker files: open, close, import, export, merge files, as well as backup and restore your files. Notice that a couple of these items have keyboard shortcuts. Assigned to them. I hope to cover some of the more involved tasks later in separate videos. Under the Edit menu, we see some standard edit features: cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, delete, select all. There are also edit tasks for person and relationship, find duplicate people or individuals, as well as a find replace feature. This is also where you can manage your tree files, facts, sources, repositories, and historical events. Lastly, take note of that insert symbol and its keyboard shortcut code. If you need to use a lot of accented letters, this keyboard shortcut can make the process a lot easier on you. The View menu is another way to two ways to access the various workspaces. I say 2 ways because besides selecting the menu item, it shows the keyboard shortcuts for each workspace, as well as how to change back and forward between workspaces. Note, this makes at least 3 ways for you to move around in the workspaces. Under the Tools menu are a variety of helpful tools like Date, Relationship, and Soundex calculators. What's Soundex? It's an indexing system based on the sound of a name rather than the spelling. It was a very helpful tool before computers. Why is it included? Because even though a lot of records are being digitized, there is a whole lot more that are not on the internet, and you might come across a need for it. So, you might be an old or experienced genealogist if you can manually calculate a Soundex code. This is also where you'll find the global spell check tool, and where you can enter user information meaning you who have created the tree, your information, so that it's included stays with your file. The Tools menu also includes a few tools that have a global effect, meaning it applies the option to your whole tree. This is the Convert Names, Initial Cap to All Caps, and vice versa. The Resolve All Place Names, and the Sort All Children by Birth, meaning for every family in your tree, not just the one you're currently on. There are currently 2 plugin applications for Family Tree Maker, and this is the menu you would access those apps for your tree. As you make edits, changes, and deletes in your tree, these actions are saved and are part of the reason the file size of your tree can grow. Occasionally, you will want to compact your file, and this tool is found under the Tools menu. It is suggested that you back up your tree before compacting your file, mostly as a precaution. Lastly, under Tools, you will find the Family Tree Maker program options, which apply to all of your trees. Before jumping into working on your trees, your family tree, take a few moments to review these options, which appear under 3 tabs: General, Names, Dates, and Places, and Warnings. This is where you tell Family Tree Maker which folder directory you want your tree files to be saved, to automatically back up your family file when you close it or exit the program, select Use Large Fonts, change the interface color scheme, set the use of fast fields for these 4 fields. Fast fields are like the auto-completion of what you are typing. You start typing a place or a name, and based on either the database that it has or the names you've previously entered, it tries to guess what you're typing, and that way you can just scroll down and select an entry from the drop-down menu that appears. Whether to display fact media or notes, whether to show hints from Family Search and Ancestry. And for Ancestry, you can specify to exclude the Ancestry tree hints, so your hints are only coming from record collections if that's what you prefer. You can also specify a particular PDF driver. Under Names, Dates, Places, you can change the date and display format and the date input format. And other date-related features. You can adjust the name index options regarding AK, also known as, and titles. There's a spell check option and the option to use or not use the check place authority as you enter place names. You can also tweak the warnings you receive from Family Tree Maker, which are designed to help lessen the chance you make an error when entering information. This is also where you can adjust the copy media files to the media folder. You can have it prompt you. You can tell it not to copy the files to the media folder or to copy the files to the media folder. And by not copying to the media folder, it will link to wherever you have that image on your hard drive, rather than copy it into your tree's media folder. So there's a variety of alerts you can adjust here. And this applies to all your trees. Now let's take a look at the Help menu. The first 3 items have to do with learning about Family Tree Maker. There is a built-in help guide whose topics are essentially organized by workspace. These topics and subtopics can be printed to paper or to PDF if you have a PDF print driver. There is not a separate PDF file for the complete help system here. The third item in the help menu is a link to the companion guide PDF that comes with Family Tree Maker 2017. With the February 2018 update, the whole companion guide is now in color, not just the cover like you see here. So, if you've ever thought it would be nice to access the companion guide PDF without having Family Tree Maker open, or even have the PDF on your tablet, that is possible. You can locate the companion guide in your operating system, in the program files, in the Family Tree Maker 2017 folder, and the manuals folder. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you leave the companion guide PDF in this folder. Otherwise, that link in Family Tree Maker will not work. So you can copy and paste it to somewhere else on your hard drive, like your Documents folder, where you're where it's more easy for you to access. Now you can also email or transfer that PDF to your tablet so that you can read it at your leisure instead of on the computer, or you can have the PDF, the companion guide, up on your tablet while you're working on Family Tree Maker. And you don't have to keep changing windows. So the second item in the help menu, close that, is training tutorials. These are actually created by Ancestry.com back when Ancestry owned Family Tree Maker. It's a link and it opens up your default browser if you have one set. Now, in order to view the tutorial, you have to have an Ancestry subscription that includes access to the Ancestry Academy. The link opens in your default browser, like I said, and takes you to the video. You may need to log into your Ancestry account again because this is bringing up a browser. So the video is outlined so you can jump to the topic that you want to see more on. Now, word of caution here. Because Ancestry created this video when it owned Family Tree Maker, that means the program they are demonstrating is likely Family Tree Maker 2014. This does not mean the video is useless because the majority of the information is likely still accurate, though be aware that Family Tree Maker 2017 has some additional features and TreeSync has become FamilySync. You can find the video directly on Ancestry in the Ancestry Academy area. Click on the All Topics and then scroll down to the bottom. And that's the same video. Again, you can jump to the outline instead of having to watch the whole thing. So the next section of the Help menu allows you to register your Family Tree Maker and log into Ancestry and Family Search if you have not already done so. A link to the standard 14-day trial subscription to Ancestry.com is included here too. Now, there is a check for update link, but from what I understand, Software Mac Kiev has not yet reactivated this link and are still notifying users of updates by email. So it is important to make sure you are on the Family Tree Maker newsletter list to ensure you get these notifications. The next three items in the Help menu are new to Family Tree Maker 2017. There are links to provide feedback to Software Mac Kiev, to access the support page for Family Tree Maker, which of course opens up your default browser, and to send a sync error report if needed. Lastly, the About Family Tree Maker tells you which version and build of Family Tree Maker you are using, and provides a way to access information about your computer specifications with the System Information button, like hard drive size and RAM size, if you don't recall, or if you don't know where to find it in your operating system. So that covers the menu bar. Remember, some of these menu items are available all the time, while others are available only when you are in certain workspaces. I'll cover that specialized menu, which appears for 5 of the workspaces, when I cover that particular workspace. Though technically we are in the planned workspace, which I will cover in the next video, I will cover the remaining items on the screen here. The left panel on most of the workspaces is the list panel. The center panels are the data panels, and the right panel is the editing panel. Now, the planned workspace does not have an editing panel. On the New Tree tab view, the New Tree View tab of the planned workspace, where we are now, you will see a list of your tree files, including the options for starting a new tree under the Getting Started. You can start a new tree from scratch by entering what you know about yourself or the individual you want to start with, and giving your Family Tree Maker tree file a name. You can also tell it where to save the file if you desire to save it elsewhere outside the Family Tree Maker folder. You can import an existing tree, such as a tree from an earlier version of Family Tree Maker, a path file from the discontinued Personal Ancestral File program, a legacy family tree file, or a GEDCOM file, which is a text file that allows different genealogy programs to share information between them, and it carries the .ged extension. Just locate that file that you want to import, type in the name of the new tree for Family Tree Maker 2017, and then if you want to move it, store it somewhere other than the Family Tree Maker folder, choose the location. If you have created an online member tree at Ancestry, you can also download that tree into Family Tree Maker 2017, which you can then have the online and Family Tree Maker desktop tree file sync so each stays up to date, or you can choose to break the sync link and essentially create 2 trees. Once you have a tree or trees in Family Tree Maker 2017, you'll see it in the list under the Open a Tree and in the Workspaces toolbar under Select Tree, down in here. Remember I said that there are often multiple ways to do tasks and programs. I'll leave you this interesting trivia. You have at least 10 ways to open a tree file. 1, 2, 3 with the shortcuts, 4, 5, click the file, 6, 7, double click the file for 8, or right click 9, 10. But you only have one way to close a tree file, File Close. Yet there are 3 ways to exit the program. 1, 2 with the shortcuts, 3 click the X to close the window. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. The next video will be on the Plan workspace. Thank you for watching. This has been Tips, Tricks, and How To by Gone Researching.